Hi everybody, thanks very much for joining me. I have a wee, well it's kind of like a traveller's notebook, only I made it, and I don't think it's the size of a traveller's notebook, so it's a Moira notebook. I'll give you the size. It's roughly 4.5 by 8.5, give or take. The cover has been made from a piece of scrapbooking paper that I've laminated, and I've used that wonderful crocodile tool to make a couple of eyelets in the top and bottom and thread my elastic through. The closure elastic has a wee, I was going to say a feather, it's a wing charm on it. I singed the ends of this, as in, you know, I'm the fire starter, twisted fire starter. I saw my friend Lisa Owens do this with some ribbon recently, and it is very good way of ensuring that something doesn't fray, but you need to be very careful that you don't go up in a wee blue light, to be fair. So I've done it anyway, and it's fine now and it won't fray. So let's have a wee quick look over this book. Inside, there's two signatures incidentally. I have a big craft card type tag that I've made. I haven't put anything on the back of it, so you can either use it for this book belongs to, or you can just use it for journaling. The paper I've used in this is paper I've done myself digitally. I call it Bubbles because it's all bubbles, strangely enough. It's very bright and it's just nice. So it's kind of like, it's a wee bit fusiony, this book, because it's got a lot of aspects that are very old-fashioned, and the bubbles, as far as I'm concerned, make it quite cheery and happy. Now, some of the pages aren't really suitable for doing journaling on, so I have included some spare paper here, and they're held on with a wee paper clip. I've just moved the paper clip so you can see the paper on the other side. That's lines for your journaling. Hopefully you see that okay. So, tea stained paper, or yeah, it was tea stained I think. And over here I have a big tag which has what's lovingly referred to on Junk Journal Junkies as a bunch of layering. I don't think a bunch of layering is, it's probably not the right collective noun for layering, but since I don't know any other one, a bunch of layering is what we'll call it. I got the idea for this from Jessica Rapp, who in turn I think watched some maybe Paula Lemon videos, I'm not sure, because Paula Lemon always does a bunch of layering. On this we have some black lace, pink lace up the top, got a wee kind of reddish bling stone here. This is a tag that I'd made, a wee ticket with poppies, wee black bling stone, a little piece of pink layering of lacy flowers, guest check, image there, a tiny playing card, some more bling stones, and a wee quote from a poem which is, "What are young women made of? What are young women made of? Ribbons and laces and sweet pretty faces. That's what young women are made of." I would agree with that. I was a young woman at one point, and to be fair, I don't think I did have an awful lot of ribbon and lace on me. I don't really know if I could be described as having had a sweet pretty face either. I was one of these women that was referred to as handsome, which I think is code for not really all that attractive. But there you go, not to worry. I had a nice personality. Right, scrapbooking paper. In here I have a crafty, is it crafty Sabby she calls herself? I can't remember. It's Sabrina Oreskovic, just make sure I've got her name right there. She did some cards the other day. She'd bought a lot of cards in a thrift store or something that were Rolodex cards, and she decoupaged on them. What I've done here is I've done a wee bit of stamping, I've layered some book pages, some torn book pages, and then I've decoupaged on top of that again. I used the Mod Podge that is, I think it's called Antique, and it's got a kind of brownish tinge to it. And I also went round the edges of the card with some, what do you call it, vintage photo. So that's glued into the book as a top spot. Behind it we have a card that I've made, and I have put some tea stain paper in the back and it's sewn on. It's just one of my graphic images from the, I've got that in my Etsy shop, and just a tag, scrapbooking paper. This page is a tea stain paper, and I've actually added an envelope to it so that you can keep wee bits and bobs in there. There's nothing in it at the moment. A window envelope that I printed on. When I stuck it on here, I didn't like the white from the envelope down this edge, so I layered a piece of lace on top of it just to make sure that it kind of blended in. But you can use that obviously for any wee bits and bobs you've got. I had to adjust the size of the envelope because the pages themselves aren't as big as the envelope. They're not as wide as the envelope. That's just a wee kind of, what do you call it, journaling card for you from a scrapbooking book. Music paper. Here's one of Gail's pages. If you watch Gail Agostinelli, and why wouldn't you, because she is just the best. Hi Gaily Wheelie. Gail did some papers where she was using, what do you call them, watercolour paints. I used brushes which are a bit like Ken Oliver's powders, you know, that you put on and then you spray water on top of them. So I did that on this and sprayed it with some Perfect Pearls. I then, once it was dried, I over stamped it and went over that with a kind of coppery coloured thingy, embossing powder. This is terrible, isn't it? I can't even remember words. Embossing powder from Lindy's Stamp Gangs. Right, in here I've got another wee postcard, which is lined with coffee paper, not coffee paper, tea paper, wee doily. Here is some brown craft paper, and I have layered on top of that a little bit of the paper that I printed out myself, just so that you've got some lines to put writing on there. Scrapbooking paper, another wee journaling card. That's the signature there. Again, I used the a wee lighter to just singe off the ends of this. I'm the fire starter, twisty fire starter. That is for Lisa Owen, and I'm sure she knows what I'm getting at here, because Lisa knows only too well. She put up a video the other day and she was singeing the edge of some ribbon, and did point out how potentially dangerous it is, and it is. You've got to watch what you're doing or else. Anyway, well, let's go on. Here I've got a little pocket which I've attached at the moment with a paper clip. It can be either glued on or it can be taken off altogether and just left in the book. It's book pages which has been folded over, sewn top and bottom, and then I've layered a piece of scrapbooking paper on top. I got this idea from a lassie that's quite new to me, Alia de Peña, or I think that's how you pronounce it. It might be Alia. I'm not sure how she says her name. She's absolutely wonderful. She's got her YouTube channel. She does some really great things in terms of how she does her work. She's awful funny as well. Really like the lassie. But she had made some of these wee pockets. Hers were much more elaborate than mine. But she made some wee pockets, and I thought, I've got to give that a go. So I did. And I layered on top a la Jessica Rapp, who does her bunch of layering. And this is what you got. Let's move on. Bubbles. Music paper that I cut down tag shape. Scrapbooking paper. Another one of Crafty Subbies cards. Here, again, just rice paper decoupaged on top of some book page and some stamping round about it. And it's glued into the book to give me a top spot. Made a wee journaling card for Bubbles. And this is just another journaling card that's in my Etsy shop just now. Another Gale page, music, just normal pages. And that's the end of that signature. On to the second. It's really just more of the same. Another one of Alia's pockets here, and you can put stuff in there, or you can, it's doubled over book page, you can put it in there. Alia did sewing all round the edges, I've just sewn the sides and I glued the rest. And there's a whimpering dog because she wants out to squirrels. Daisy, you'll need to wait, darling. Brown paper. That's that craft tag card that's right at the beginning again. Just put it in the book here as a page. Big square doily. Another envelope here. Nothing in the envelope at the moment, but again it's free for you to add anything to. And lace down that page again. Another one of Gail's pages, and this time I used a kind of teal coloured Lindy's embossing powder. And another one of Alia's pockets with Jessica's bunch of layering. I mean, these are lovely, I really like these. In fact, I think they're going to feature in all my journals from now on. There's the middle of that signature as well. The actual signatures themselves are just normal sewn together, 3-hole pamphlet stitch. And it's held in with, oh, here we go, wait a minute, here's another Crafty Sabby card. Hope you could see that okay. In this one I've got, I made a mini file folder here with bubbles, and you can use that obviously for journaling. Chunky Monkey never made it in, but Lego Monkey did. Another one of my journaling cards, which is available in my Etsy shop, and another piece of ephemera that I've made for the Bubbles book. I don't want to take too long because I really do want to upload this in one video if I can. I've already had about 3 goes at this morning. Another tag here, this one with nice fibres on the top. And again, it's got Jessica's sort of layering idea here. And another little journaling card. And a wee tag I made just with some scrap paper. And that's us. So the closure, hold on to mouse that page. Closure is just another piece of the elastic cord that I used for holding in the signatures. And there's that charm on it. Please note, I did the We Are Memory Keepers crocodile, top and bottom. So I mean, it's fairly sturdy. It's quite chunky as well, but it's quite chunky because of the amount of other wee embellished ephemera that's in it. Right, so that's it. The whole crux of this matter is I'm trying to reach 500 subscribers. I'm not that far from it. I think I might be something like 20 subscribers away. So, this is going to be done as a giveaway. If you subscribe to my channel and you leave me a wee comment, what I'll do is in roughly a fortnight's time, now today is the 14th, so in 14 days, which would be what, the 28th, I will have a wee look at all the names, write them all in wee bits of paper, and I will rattle them in a wee cup and pick one out, and whoever gets chosen wins the Moira notebook. So, thanks very much for your time. Please comment and subscribe, and we'll look forward to seeing you again in the very near future. Thanks guys, bye bye, see you soon, bye.